Well, I got the seating here, and they're building their new house up there, and it's not the homeowner, but they dragged the well pump out in the seating, so I can't even fertilize it. It's too wet down there. The well's up there.
You are now watching Farming with Duffy Ag.
Figured we were coming by and we'd stop over here and see what actually grew. So there is some cover crop in here, which is good because this ground needs some more organic matter, more withhold. It actually, you can see lines and stuff. It actually looks pretty good. I'm actually content. But what I want to see, so we'll walk out to this far corner and we will look at where it switched from triticale to rye. Let's see the difference. I put it on heavier, but I want to see. You can see nothing grew where some silage was dumped, but yeah, the cover crop's definitely going to help along, which I like that. So if you don't know, this is the ground I picked up last year for myself, and I did battle it quite a bit. All part of it learned. It looks good for this year. I got my permit to run it, so oh, it's not actually metal. Thought we found something good. It's like light metal. So we did go heavier here, and you can see this is where it's rye instead of triticale out there, just because I was running out of it, and it's shorter. So triticale is definitely better stuff, but I figured we'd stop along the way here and check it out because we're headed back to the farm and driving right by. But I am glad something's growing here because it's good for the soil. That's the big thing. I do not plan on harvesting any of this stuff. I think the other stuff we might actually harvest. So this looks halfway decent for as late as we put it on. Next year, now that I'm set up a lot better, we're gonna put a lot on, and hopefully we'll put it on right after we chop. We'll get into it. So alrighty, you coming? We'll get going. A little update on life here. So they tore it down today. As you see, they blocked some off. Got that building collapsed, and as I've said in the past, because of our landlord situation, we can't just go in and tear things down unless it's like minor stuff. A collapse, things like that, raises a lot of red flags as far as safety stuff and procedures. But they took it down piece by piece. That section on is historical, so that is why that's still up. That's still in good shape. The ends, well, it was built later in life, which usually means it's built not as well. But fertilizer spreader is here. Fertilizer is in the trailer loaded. So I guess tomorrow we are gonna spread some fertilizer. So I think this video is gonna correlate right into spreading fertilizer, because when I'm filming this, it's actually my birthday. So I'm ahead on videos, which is cool. But I did buy myself a birthday gift, which I didn't know it was actually gonna be a birthday gift, but it showed up on my birthday. So let me show you what I got. We're parked in a hole, so we look a little sideways, but backed this up last night. Got it parked here. Hydraulic lines, we're gaining on that. Look at this spread plate. So Hainsworth spread plate. Also had them send me a cap, but yeah, they don't give these things away either. So I forget what this costed, but that should do pretty good for that. And I didn't want to mess around cutting one, making one. By the time you get the fittings and get everything flat, bent and placed nicely, it ain't really worth it. So spread plates on, which when we are nursing, we'll throw the cap on. So what we got to do, we got to get one of these ends and we'll weld it onto the actual tank or somewhere. I don't know where we'll actually put it, but then we can mount it. Maybe we'll put it right there. That way we can switch these back and forth and always have either the cap or the spread plate based on what we're doing. But that looks a lot better. So, alrighty, we're actually out of here. We're gonna go do the live stream, so I appreciated anybody who watched along with that. You guys are awesome. Then we gotta get tacos. But I guess I'll see you in the morning. We're gonna go spread fertilizer. Alrighty, let's get this going. So yeah, my birthday last night, tacos. We're rocking and rolling. It's windy today. We'll get this tractor hooked up to the spreader. So we did end up, radio's gonna come on. We did end up getting Caravel spreader, which is always handy because I like the 3-point hitch spreader because we don't drag something through. So maybe some of the wet spots with this spreader, you got to be more careful. But the 3-point hitch spreader for top dressing corn is awesome. It is freaking freezing in this tractor. The AC was on. But I'll get hooked up to that. I got the tender loaded, so I got 10 ton in there. I got to strap it down. I don't know if I got any help to run tractor, or if I'm just going to run out of here. So they are paving my road, which is awesome because we haul manure down it. And they were supposed to do that last fall. They were supposed to replace some of the culverts and pave it. So we can't get into 2 fields today. And we got to go around for the rest. But once it's paved, it's going to be really, really nice. So I'm glad that they're doing that because it was going to be a rough ride hauling manure down that way. Well, alrighty. We'll hook up to the tender and then, or the spreader, get loaded, see what the day brings us. Alrighty, I got hydraulics running, getting a little warmed up. Let me pull this back over. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. So we'll empty the back one first. We in Dave's way? We might be. Okay, we gotta remember how to do this. We ain't got any hydraulics. What'd we do? You know what helps? If you hook up the return on the truck. I must have put it on and I didn't pay attention, but let's give this a try. Oop, wrong one. There we go. Auger up. Auger out. We gotta get ourselves over a little bit. Yeah, having a moment. I was like, why is it not pumping hydraulic oil? I was like, because the Gemini pumps are good, like really good. And sure enough, I was like, wait, did I ever fully connect the other one? So the fluid wasn't going anywhere, so then it was just sitting there. We'll get backed up over here. Load this thing up. It says it can take max of 6 ton. We'll have to see if that's how real that is. If that's the case, hopefully 2 loads and I'll be done, but we will see. Down. 10-inch augers is big one. at the beginning, make sure everything's good. I did grease everything yesterday. Oh, 2 nights ago. Once I parked it over here. We're not completely full, but pretty good. We're gonna do the pasture, run around here, then we'll get topped off, then we'll run some distance. If they put it even, which I bet they're pretty close, so 5 ton, 5 ton. I'd say we got another ½ ton. So even though that spreader says it can take 6 ton, the density of the product changes how much you can fit in places. So should we put this back on? Yeah. No, we'll be right back. Once we run a distance, we'll throw it back on. That way, if even though it's supposed to not rain at all, if a small rain shower comes through, it doesn't make everything bunch up. So usually they tell you how much it costed. They're not even doing that. Usually it's on the slip, so I'll have to find another slip. But yeah, so we got 20,110 pounds of 23,023. So nitrogen and potash, I believe is what that is. 23 and 23, and then 1.9 magnesium and 3.9 sulfur. Fill their tender. We're filled. So before we get done, we got to make sure we set this at the right level. So on here there's notches of numbers, and then you got your spreadsheet. So this well, here you go, blended fertilizer, straight urea. You can see the different levels. So 30-foot spread. Let me do some thinking and we'll get that set, because that is your limiting factor of that tells it how much to actually spread. Because you lower this wheel down, start spinning, the chain goes so fast, the door's so open, so much product goes out. So you can spread a whole different variety of things. And then you got pounds per acre. So recommended settings, we're probably going to be right around that blended fertilizer. So 2.5 for recommended. So if you look up here, 2.5, how many pounds we want to put on, we're going 150 pounds to the acre of the product, which is, oh, I messed that up. So cubic material. So we got to look up our cubic material. I always forget that. Cubic foot weight of potash is 66 to 70 pounds, and then cubic foot weight of urea is 48 to 52. And that's being at 46. So what did I just say to you guys? So if we set it at 55, so it'll be between 55 and 60. So 2.5 to 3. So 2 and 3/4 will probably be the number. So we open this up and you see that line on the top here. So that is just about 2.5. Oh, I think we went a little too far. So might go a little bit less. There we go. So let's give that a go and we'll see exactly where we're at. Oop, spill a little bit of fertilizer up in the front. We gotta fix that door. Yanko, let's go. He's off partying. So they're demoing the end of the barn. Actually, they got it all demoed. And then we're pouring concrete for another grain bin so that we can take a complete load of grain for price-wise. Here he comes. Gotta move him. You ready to go? We're gonna go spread some fertilizer. So were you over there helping them? So they're all they got their safety vests on and everything. And hard hats, and Yanko's like, hey, what's up? I'm here to party. And they're like, bud, where's your helmet? We do need fuel, but we'll fuel up before we leave. I forgot I put cover crop on this field. It actually looks halfway decent for being so late. Yeah. So pretty much what we're doing with it now, because we are late, I wanted to get in and chop it, and I still think I'm going to chop some of it just to stretch some feed, but we're just reincorporating organic matter. And also the cover crop, I firmly believe that it helps the soil and helps weed control at the beginning, because it has something that's growing there. So that's the big thing. But the biggest reason why I'm doing cover crop is so that we can harvest the second crop. I was just so late in the fall getting it on that the yields won't be where they should be in germination, stuff like that. But right now we'll incorporate it back into the ground, the stuff that we don't chop, and it will be more organic matter for the soil. So that is the goal. Better and better soil, because as soil gets better, it treats you better and you get better yields, better crops, and just all around better. That's a lot of better about going through some goat paths. A lot of our little hay fields around here, but did all the pasture, the fields out back that I just came through. Got two here. Like I said, they're paving our road, so we're gonna skip that one, but I'll get filled up with fertilizer, and then I'll keep running. So yeah, these fields are not looking. I got a big goal for the fall and reseed a lot of grass to get going. Even hopefully the price comes down. We'll see. Stopped and talked to the officer on the detail at the end of the road where they're paving. Supposedly they're going to be done at 3 o'clock paving everything, so we're going to be in a good place. I said, oh, don't worry. I said, you can go down and check if you can get into it. If not, come back later. And I said, if they're going to be done at 3, I'm not even that worried. I'll come after 3 and we'll run down it. So yeah, they're not paving the full road, but they're paving the worst section. So definitely going to be smooth sailing from here on out on that road, at least for a little bit. So we'll get loaded back up, and then we'll go on some road tripping. Which really, road tripping with this tractor is not too bad. I need some fuel though. Pulling back into the farm now. Yeah, 27-mile-an-hour road tripping is a lot better than 19.5. So, pastures look good though. We're probably going to end up chopping one of them, because I think they're going to get ahead of us, same as like every other year. And then we always have one pasture that's gone by. The cows don't like eating it. So yeah. But that's all for dry cows, so it's all part of it. But they're tearing. Yeah, I'll show you. Oh, I got to figure out where fuel is, because they're tearing that down. I don't know if I got any fuel. I wonder if the transfer tank's full. I couldn't get fuel because, well, they put the battery on this side and the fuel's on that side, and it was tucked far enough in their trailer that I couldn't get through, or couldn't get around. The guy's demoing that. They're already done demoing. I'll show you when I leave. But I'll have to pull it out with the wheel loader. So here they are. They're getting it the bricks out. They actually pulled the whole end of the barn off, which I didn't know they were doing that up top, which is nice. That'll be good, new wood. 2 dumpsters. There wasn't much to it. They took it down piece by piece, but they do have, oh, that's the wood that came out. So none of us really know what the state's plan is for that yet. I don't know if the state knows what their plan is, but they got it demoed, so we're halfway through, and that's just what it is. Yeah, we utilize that for our sawdust storage, but in the past people have said, why don't you have 2 trailers and then you don't have to unload it right away, you can just drop it. We've talked about that too, but I don't know. I don't know. So I brought up that, hey, we could do that, we just gotta find some trailers, and nobody's been aggressive to find trailers, so I don't think that's our plan yet, unless I come across a deal. Granted, we do not own that other trailer that hauls sawdust, so it is what it is. But alrighty, let's get going. We got plenty to do today. We're right into it. The best thing about this tractor, that E-range. So 27 miles an hour. Boogie right along. Cover crop growing some. That's why I hate driving over it with manure in the spring. Fertilizer wasn't through the roof, we'd put some urea on it instead of ever putting manure, but it might grow some. Yeah, just park in the middle of the road, bud. Don't pull in, don't even try to get off the side of the road. Just park up. Keep in mind, that's a main road. On some corners. I think it's a 40 through here, so like, I don't understand people. I don't. So, which brings me back to previously video, somebody passed me and somebody made the comment that, oh, it's legal, you have a slow moving sign. The slow moving sign does not actually make it legal to pass a tractor. Passing on a double solid line, which is everywhere except for one section in town, and back roads don't have any lines because, well, there's not enough room to have lines. The line, you'd be driving on the line the whole time. But it makes it illegal to pass it. I think it's illegal everywhere to pass a tractor, and their comment was you should be driving with half your tire, or one tire on the road and one in the dirt. What? So we had a debate, and the person told me, oh, I'm a farmer, I know what I'm talking about, which I don't believe that. So you know who you are. A lot of people did comment on that video. Oh, but alrighty, we're over here. We're over where we touched up some seeding, and we're gonna get some fertilizer spread out here. Well, I got the seeding here, and they're building their new house up there, and it's not the homeowner, but they dragged the well pump out in the seeding, so I can't even fertilize it. It's too wet down there. The well's up there. That's much better. So the guy who actually moved in here, he's a few years older than me. I think he was in my sister's grade. Bought the small house, tore it down, built this big one. Had to do a septic and whatnot, normal stuff. But his property line, I think, is right there. So technically from here over is his, and like a little bit down in there, but the rest is all town. So I seeded this, and it's coming along. It actually looks pretty good. It's gonna take a good jump, I think. But they drag the freaking thing right out, so gotta fertilize it if you want it to grow. Yeah, looks good though. Like, that's a good spot to park too. Nope, nobody flagging. Right on the corner. That's how people die. Or accidents, I guess accidents. Oh, we'll jet on over here. Oh, stuff's beeping at me. We'll jet on over here. Hopefully I got enough to do 3 more fields here. And that will be the whole section over here. There's quite some land. I don't know if I got 30 acres between the 3 fields. Should have enough fertilizer on me. It definitely feels like a spring day. Early spring though, but everything's green, and the wind's really whipping along. I'd like to get the drone up and do some more flying. Look at that. We're frickin' speeding. 1 mile an hour over. So we picked up this property last year. It had milkweed in it after first cutting, so we battled it for second, and then we kind of just let it go, and we weren't sure what we were gonna do. So it's got a lot of old growth underneath from last year, but the grass is actually pretty top notch. Like, there's quite a bit when you look down, like all down in here that looks like it's dead. It's just old growth that's sitting there. But hopefully it does okay, and then I'd like to seed it. It's got a lot of roughness to it from the previous person that ran it, I think. It never gets smoothed out, so there's quite a lot of bumps, but it's a good section here, and the people like it looking good, so that's a big part of it. And we're almost done with it. There's a little section out front that we did when we first pulled in. Yeah. It's surprisingly drier than I thought here. I've been in other fields where there's some standing water in the low spots. Keep in mind, we did just get a ton of rain. And places got a ton of snow, so we're in a better place than a lot. This fertilizer will really make it pop. I wish I got it on before that rain, but at the same rate, I think it was such an aggressive amount of water that it might have washed some of our fertilizer away quickly. So it's okay, we're getting it. The more I spread fertilizer, the better the fields I get to. Like, we're looking good out here. So uncovered it so I could see how much was left in it, and we're pretty much on point for where I want it to be. It's a little wet down in some of these spots. We've got some things stuck. I've got the chopper stuck in here before, so you just got to be aware. That looks like a big sinkhole right there. I'll have to remember that. That's not good. But odd shaped fields, got a few rocks that pop up, but I'd say we're looking pretty good. We're on some hillsides. Oh, yeah. Phone's going all over. We're going all over. We better slow it down a little bit. So this field is actually, this is the landowner on the hill. Great guy. Really down to earth, great guy. And then we actually know the horse people, the horse stable there, and I think these people in the back enjoy what we do. So, but no, he's an awesome landowner, likes it looking good, goes out, mows the edges and whatnot. He had some beef cows over here at one point. He bought some steers from us, but then he realized that, you know, having live animals, it's 24-hour situations can come up. There's a drainage pipe that comes out right here. Comes out from, I don't even know where that comes out of, but yeah, pretty decent. So sometimes this field is super wet in the back here, and sometimes it's good, manageable, and we can get around, but you see there's some ledge and stuff like that. But the front we've no-tilled before with Frank, so there was a video of that. And then down here we have not ever touched any of it, and we probably should. We should smooth it out if we get a drier spell, because yeah, like, so this is a drainage ditch that goes to the middle. I used to chop through it and mow through it, and Lee gave up on that. He did have stakes in at one point, so there's stakes around that, and there's stakes down in here. He was gonna put some drainage pipe in, which I was all on board for that. I don't know if he's still gonna do that ever or what. Last year, it was way too wet to do anything, so we took 2 cuttings off this, I think. We had to skip, I don't know if we skipped first because it was so wet back here. I think we skipped first and we skipped third, but we got 4th on it. So, alrighty, I'll keep running this fertilizer out, and I'll get back to you guys. On to the next one. I pulled into this field and I was like, oh, I'm really surprised that it's as dry as it is up in front. Yeah, it's not. I made some ruts there. This is the field though that I'm in now that last year we mowed, and it literally rained and there was standing water in the field for like a month. We never even got back on to get the crop off. It was that day where we chopped a bunch of grass and it all just kind of fell apart on us that day. But it made some friggin' ruts. Well, made a mess of stuff. I don't know why it got so much wetter than usual. I don't know if somebody changed the drainage or somewhere, like a job site, but you can, well, I can see I made ruts right there. So we're gonna avoid going right down in this middle because it's pretty freaking soupy, and yeah, we don't need to get stuck again. But hopefully we won't live the same as last year where it just rained every day. I know places in the world got no rain and we got rain every day, but the year before that we got no rain and other places got rain. So wild. Weather is wild. I cannot. So I know a lot of farmers watch the channel, but I know a lot of people that are not farmers watch the channel, and people who are non-farmers, it's just nuts how the weather goes from how the weather's changing, how the patterns, and I don't know, it might not be changing, but we're getting more extremes both ways. It's happened before. We're not going to go into global warming because everybody gets bent out of shape when we talk about subjects that people don't feel about. But we see more droughts and more heavy rain in periods of the country, like snow. I'm going to try to sneak on the side here and see if I can not rut everything up. Yeah. Spot. We can do with water. We like water because we're on sandy soil. We can't do it drought. Oh yeah, there's standing water in here. I'm gonna get stuck. Yep, making ruts. I'm gonna get out of here and get on the driveway. Okay. Yeah, that was cool. That was not cool. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be wet down in here. I don't know how I feel about this tractor being an auto posi. It makes a freaking hell of a bang whenever it comes on and off. Like, they say it's a good thing, like, well, it's good because it shuts it off, but it bangs hard. Okay, little spot here, so we got this little piece at the end that we always do. And you can see my ruts, and there's some over there, so that's not good, but we got everything else other than the very bottom, the middle spread. So we'll head down the road. I'm gonna go over to the seating. I got enough in here that I can do my far fields. I'm actually in a good boat. And then we'll have to run home, get loaded up. I don't even know what time it is now. Should have brought my wallet to get some lunch. But yeah, we'll jump down here and run across town. We got enough to get going. So if I had an actual real fast tractor, I would probably jump on Route 2 and run down, and we'd get there a whole lot quicker. But because we only go 27 and not 30, 35, 40, we'll stay over here and stay legal instead of running down the highway. Come on. Yep. We'll let you go because that's the law. So here's the prison, if you guys are new. Yeah, we run by here quite a bit. So Concord. It's a pretty intense prison. But we'll jump over to my field that we seeded last fall, and we actually went back and patched up some spots where the Brilliant ran out of seed or we messed up or stuff like that. A lot of people got pretty opinionated when I've said Brilliant seeders aren't good. They're good seeders, just the accuracy, like for fescue, it goes from 5 pounds to 20 pounds with one turn. So there's a big variable in between. So the accuracy of seating like that stuff just doesn't work. Plus, sometimes it just pours out the bottom instead of actually metering out. Like you pick it up and it's pouring out, so you gotta always shut it and stuff like that. That might just be because of the age. But people have told me the new ones are the same thing. There's accuracy level, and the chart goes from 5 pounds to 20 pounds, and you're like, so that was my opinion on a Brilliant. They do a good job when they're seating, but the hoppers are so small, and you run out of seed, or if it's all of a sudden dumping the seed out too fast and you get out and you're like, whoops, one hopper's empty and the other one's not. So I'm not against Brilliants. I think they do a good job, but I think there's things that are better. That's my opinion on that. So alrighty, coming through West Concord here. I really should have brought my wallet. We could have stopped for lunch. I screwed up. I didn't think I was gonna come this far on this trip. So good old West Concord though. They got rid of the 99s though, which is disappointing. I'm a big 99s fan, to be honest. I probably get takeout there a little too much, but they got rid of it on the corner, which is sad because it wasn't, well, I didn't come here that much, but it stayed pretty busy. But I heard the rents through the roof on all of this stuff. So it used to be right here on the corner. Is the barbershop still there? Yeah, barbershop's there. I need a haircut. We should probably get a haircut. It used to be right here. Going down memory lane now. I was just gonna try to skate right across there and do that back little section. And I was like, there's water flowing across that. Yeah, never mind, we'll back up. Back up, Terry. Back up. So we backed up. Alrighty, one more little one. Home, reload. I ordered myself some food, some Panera. Me and Uber Eats have become very good friends this year. And, you know, you don't want to friggin' starve, so that's what it is. But this field is disgusting. Looks like crap. So I got a big list. Yeah, that stuff will grow, but it just I got a big list to seed this fall, and hopefully I can get my life dialed in as far as all the equipment. The air seeder really is going to be a big part of doing that. But like I said, we're putting on some sulfur and magnesium to get the levels to a better point. So that hopefully will help. And then when we seed it, we'll do even better, because we looked at a lot of the pH, and yeah, we got a few fields that are slightly low, but most of them are pretty within that spec. We got a few that are like a 5.9 or a 6. Hey, all revved up because we're driving past trees. 5.9 or a 6, but we got a lot that are like a 6.2, 6.4. A few in the higher levels. Most of our cornfields are actually 6.5 and above. We got a few that are like 7.2, but yeah. Alright, down the road we go. I lost Yanko. Oh no, he's up there having a play date. So I got 2 black labs here. Yanko always likes to get out and pee on things with them. Like, look at him, off in La La Land, having a grand old time. You done with your play date? We'll see you guys in a little bit. Yeah, living in suburbia, this is the one really, well, not the one really good thing, but this is a good thing, that we get delivery from all over the place. So got some Panera. Yeah. My mother's flowers are looking good. They're looking good, bud. So this just got seeded 3, almost 4, maybe 4 years ago, and you can see we had some grubs get into it back to 2 years ago, and it just killed out some spots. Yeah, so there's some good spots, and then there's some spots that are bare, like right here. So I think my plan, I gotta talk to the landowner. They don't want anything sprayed, So I think my plan will be put corn into it and cultivate here, and then put grass back into it in the fall. It's nice ground. There's a few rocks, but nothing too crazy. I mow-boarded this with Frank's 4-bottom on the 4230, so the 7520 would make it would do a good job out there. But yeah, we'll keep going. I'd say they had a tree come down. Let's see if we can get around it without rolling this over. We're in the wrong gear. Yeah, that did some destruction. Yep, we're a little sideways, but looks fresh. That's unfortunate. So when I was a kid, we used to be able to farm this to some degree, and it's just turned into a marshland. And well, if you guys watched last year, we had this crop that was a complete failure because the geese ate it, and then I'm walking across all this stuff. The geese ate it, and then that must be from a beaver. So beavers are blind, if you guys don't know that, underwater, and they actually go in pathways. So all of this was flooded last year. Yanko! Yeah, I don't know where it is. All of this was flooded last year, and our corn in the field over here on the other side, I'll walk up. Our corn over here in the field on the other side got flooded out and was a complete failure, if we all know that. And that's because they were redoing the dam, so they had the water level too high. But so this is conservation or something. I don't know if this turns into Billerica there, but this is private property. We run the ground. So this field, this was the one that I didn't even get to chop. We ran it with the tractor because the yields were so bad. And we replanted it because the geese got into it, ate everything. So we treated the seed, then it worked well, but it literally was under standing water. So it's wet no matter what. Like, it's a wetter ground. Extremely wet year, and the water level, they backed it up, so the water level's all up in here of the dam, and I have yet to actually see what they did with it. So let's go over and check it out. I don't know why they have a do not enter sign when clearly they're done building it. So yeah, back when I was a kid, we could come all the way out here and farm it, and we slowly lost some ground. And last year this water level was so high, like it was into the field, but they backed the dam up so that they could work on it, and it's part of it. Looks like quite the structure though. So this is Greeno property, and this is the Greeno Dam. I've never actually walked all the way over there ever in my life, but quite a structure they did. So there is boards there to lower it more, but then they got their ways to go by. I don't know if there's two of them or one. Yeah. So it could go lower, but I'm just thankful that it was all the way up into the over the embankments, up in the trees. It made last year wet down here. We got quite a lot of water coming through right now. So they did this up pretty good. Hats off to you guys. This one they must have it boarded up, just overflow in case needed. Or was, what did they do here? Oh yeah, real overflow. Oh, this was the old one. I forgot that. So they put a new piece in, but you can see underneath it's the old form. We're exploring now. Don't worry, we're official business, so we can do stuff like this. Yeah, so they put, that was the old dam coming over, and they put new foundation, and they use it as like a spillway, so if it gets way too high, it does utilize through here. What are you doing up there? Come here. Hey, No, no, don't go down in the water. You don't want to get wet today. It smells like a swamp. But yeah, this is Billerica on this side. Nice day for it though. Really nice day. I'm just really glad that it's not. It's wet right now because, well, hell, it's rain. It's been a wet spring, wet cold spring. But now that the water level's lower, it will make this field a lot better this year. Last year was the worst year we've ever had down here. Everything was wet. Like I said, it's wet on a dry year. On a wet year, it's wet, and they just dragged it out by having this project going on at the same time. So they did a good job though. Cleaned it up. Looks nice. I wish this would dry out down in here, because I would love to farm up to it, but it's swamp, so I doubt it. When I'm running around with the rotary mower, we'll clean it up a little bit, and because I'm not exactly sure where their line comes and where the conservation line goes to, but yeah, used to be able to farm all the way up to this. We used to I got a picture of it somewhere. We had the 7320 and the bulldozer attached to the front of it, pulling it, coming through this because it was so wet. Since then, we've done chop into the dump wagon with the pull type and take half loads and things like that. But with a self-propelled and a tractor, usually you're pretty good that you can get going. It's got to smell everything. So yeah, corn in this grass needs to be touched up, but we didn't want to do anything because the water level was so high that it just made it a brutal season. Literally though, last year the geese would come out of the pond and walk over here. They might have flown, and they went down the line and picked all of it. So if you haven't watched that video, go back, because they were a pain. That's why he loves running them. We got like 15 acres left. We should have just maybe a little bit more. If I got leftover fertilizer, I'll put it on some pasture ground that heifers go on. But we'll get this started back up. I'm gonna have to probably climb in there and just clean the walls. When he put it in, things were a little damp, even though I covered it, because it was raining that day. If I can figure out how to climb a ladder with a broom, it would be better off. I do have a GoPro in one hand and a broom in the other. But I'll jump in there, shut the auger off, shut the hydraulics off so I don't get sucked in and killed or anything. Well, you can see the walls have a little bit of fertilizer still built up on them, so we'll get that cleaned up. I might have 1,500, maybe a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna be right on the money for how much I got left and how many acres I got left. So we'll go finish up. My brother ran the auger while I climbed in there and wiped everything down. So probably gotta wash it. We gotta paint. I gotta paint it. That's what I really gotta do to keep things nice in there, because damn fertilizer just is abusive. So once we get some seed in the ground and get through first cutting, we got quite a lot of little stuff to do just to make our lives better off. But alrighty, on to the last bit. It's 5 o'clock, just past 5 o'clock, so today's taking a lot longer, but I have been by myself, so I probably ate up 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours just running around instead of having somebody with the truck. which is frustrating, but at the same point, it is what it is, and yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. So they did finish up paving the road. My brother says it's real smooth. They're gonna come back and do another coat this summer, I guess. So we're gonna go joyride down that and see how much smoother all those bumps are. Much smoother. Hopefully we don't rip anything up right here. Oh, we gotta do some work here. So we got quite a curb coming off. And now we're gonna kill the edge of that concrete. But we gotta do some work here this summer as far as leveling this out, making it easier. We're not hauling manure into there until we do grass, but I do want it a little bit nicer right here. Gonna be the last one. So I don't have enough for pasture, but this field's looking good too. Nice and green. That's what I like to see. We're gaining. Big fan of the new road, all the fresh pavement. So usually you come down through here and you'd be braking aggressively because, well, not only is it a turn, but there was 2 wicked bumps right in here where the culverts were. Now, pretty smooth. So, much nicer. Big fan of it. Town guys and the paving guys did a hell of a job. Look at this guy. Ah, we made a mess on the road. It's just dirt. We were the first ones to make a mess of the road. They told my brother that no burnouts because they know wild kids in town, which, you know, we don't do burnouts. Oh, but fresh asphalt. And then there was another bump right here. Gone. So much better. I feel like they did that just for us for hauling manure. So I appreciate it. Just kidding. There's a lot of traffic that rolls through this road. And then they're paving one other road, they said. My brother said that one's worse than this one, but they thought it was a private drive. They didn't know it was an actual town road. Alrighty, 6 o'clock. I feel like we haven't got much done, but we definitely needed to get that done, so that's one thing checked off the list. Now it's up to Mother Nature to give us a good first cutting. I'd say 70% of the fields I'm happy with where they're at. And 30, I really like to reseed them, but we'll wait till the fall and reseed them. And then we'll go from there. I'm a fan. Let me turn you around. I'm a fan of fall seedings. I think they take off better. Here we've had too many times where you seed in the spring and it rains for a little bit and we get first cutting done and then the water shuts off. So then your seedings jump. At least in the fall we're more likely to have a consistent flow of moisture to get it going. And then it's got the spring to keep it going more to establish roots, take off. I know some people, different areas for different things, and I don't like spring seedings, but I had to do that one because it looked like garbage. Some people said, you should have just broadcast it on, let it be, at least get a crop off it. The weeds would have taken over way quicker and we would have had way too many issues and headaches, and trying to do the best we can. So yeah, they're done for the day as far as the demo. Let me get you out of the, but they took all of that wall off, so they're putting new on it. I guess they had to look at if it was rotted and everything else. I see they put a piece across there, so we don't know what they're actually doing, and they don't know what they're actually doing, I think. But they got a ton of plywood, so I take it they're gonna plywood that whole side. And then who knows if they should rebuild it, but things with the states. They've also talked about tearing down the heifer barn, which needs to be tore down. And part of our lease is they're supposed to maintain the structures like the big stuff. We do the day-to-day stuff, but yeah, they're supposed to maintain that facility, and the roof is coming off, and the guys who came to look at the roof like 4 years ago said absolutely not, this isn't up to code, we're not touching this. So that was part of it, but they said we'll tear it down, but we don't know when we're going to rebuild it. So we said, well, don't tear it down because they need some cover unless you know when you're going to rebuild it. So, but those guys today, they hustled right along. They got that. Now it makes sense why they had the lull. I was wondering if they'd forget about that and I could hide it out back and use it to pressure wash stuff. I'd like one for that. That would be nice. Doing tankers and trucks, it definitely speed it up. Well, we got plenty of projects left to do, but at least fertilizer spreading is done. We're gonna keep moving along. Yeah. We haven't even thought about diving into just running through the chopper for first cutting, or cover crop if we get into that, but planter, spreaders, 75-20 priorities. So appreciate you guys watching along though. I'm gonna get out of here. Been a good day. Got all the fertilizer spread. Messed around, tinkered on some stuff. So yeah, another day in the life. Appreciate it. Have a good one. See you on the next one.